Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a pretty unconventional approach to most investing, but after reading a few books by Nicholas Taleb, I'd like to present to you the Antifragile Portfolio. And I'm just going to write his name real quick. So the Antifragile Portfolio is something I read in the book Antifragile, again written by Nicholas Taleb. He's the author of the book The Black Swan, which is about how very low probability events can just completely flip our world upside down. So he emphasizes obviously anti-fragility. So what is that? Those are things that benefit from chaos. They're built to survive. It's not a way to think of it as something that is robust. Something robust is strong and it's difficult to break down, but something that's anti-fragile actually gets stronger when it is attacked. So this portfolio focuses on surviving. Within that, I'd say, 90% of the assets are in T-bills, cash, very safe assets, some gold, throw some gold in there too. And then the other 10% are going to be your high risk bets, Bitcoin, AI companies, obviously the buzz these days, and also some deep out of the money put options. And that's for things like market crashes and things of that nature that this portfolio will benefit from. The 90% cash, with a little bit of gold, the safe portion of the portfolio, the gains made there should cover whatever is in that 10% bucket. In other words, the portfolio shouldn't really go down ever on a year-to-year basis in nominal terms. You may lose to inflation here and there, but overall, in the long run, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you have that nice cushion. And then when things get crazy, you'll also be able to sleep at night because you're going to be gaining from such disorder. So if we pull up my portfolio right now, again, as we discussed, right now, I'm pretty deep in cash and T-bills. I have trimmed back recently my gold. This should be here. I have trimmed back my gold holdings. And gold's been on just such a tear. 58%, I think, within the past day or two, year to date. These are like very, very rare events to have that sort of return. I do plan on jumping back into gold. Just right at this moment. I just think it's overrun its course. Defense stocks are another thing that benefits from chaos. The SHLD ETF also has had a great run. That is something I am planning on jumping back in. Cybersecurity ETF, obviously, if there's attacks on critical infrastructure and cybersecurity, this is something that benefits. XLE, I actually have two XLE ETFs. I have the ETF itself, and then I have some call options way out in the future, but it's kind of like Iran, and as an example, Iran puts an embargo on oil, and this ETF jumps to 200 for a week or two. that's when you're going to cash out on this sort of call option. As I said earlier, SPY puts, this is about 20% out of the money. I don't, on most quarters, I don't ever expect this to make any money. So, I'm going to lose this $272, but it's a nice insurance policy. If things get crazy, again, this thing could 10x easily. So, yeah, that's my portfolio. I have my house. This I need to live, so it's really not an asset that I'm trading or anything of that nature. The mortgage associated with it and the cost of sale, 3% would go to a realtor and the other 3% for closing costs.